I've had some intense experiences. Psychedelics, prayer, meditation, and moments that shook me to my core. But trying to make sense of them, that's the hard part. In this video, I took conversations I've had with Chat GPT about my spiritual life, loaded them into NotebookLM to get a deeper analysis, and then dropped these insights into some of my drone footage across the USA. What I found wasn't just answers. It was reflection, perspective, and a few questions that hit harder than a thunderclap in the Rockies. If you've ever wondered how to blend technology and spirituality, or just needed to help make sense of your journey, this one's for you.
You know that feeling when you're out somewhere, maybe deep in a forest or just looking up at this huge mountain, and there's this sense of connection, like something bigger is right there.
Yeah, like a hum beneath the surface.
Exactly. That's really what we want to dive into today. You shared some incredibly profound thoughts about how nature and your spirituality kind of weave together, and we just felt, yeah, we need to explore this.
Absolutely. And what really jumped out from your reflections was how much they seem to echo, well, pantheism.
Right.
Which, isn't about some separate God out there, but the idea that the divine is everything, the whole universe.
Okay.
So, yeah, our mission today is to sort of unpack pantheism a bit and see how it illuminates those really powerful experiences you've described having in nature.
Okay, so pantheism. The core idea then is God and the universe, they're not two things, they're one and the same.
Precisely. Fundamentally identical. One of your sources had that beautiful image, didn't it?
Yeah.
The divine as a shimmering thread woven through the very fabric of the cosmos. Ah, yeah, I remember that. That's lovely. So it's not like a person like God making choices.
No, not in the usual sense. It's more like an inherent force, maybe an impersonal consciousness that just exists.
As different from a personal God who steps in and does things.
Exactly. Instead of, a creator who wound things up and now watches or intervenes, think of divinity as the actual essence of reality.
Okay.
An impersonal force, almost like the laws of physics, maybe. They just are. That's a big shift from praying to a specific being,
Yeah. Definitely. So if God is the universe, then being out in nature, that takes on a whole new meaning. It's not just being near something divine. You're actually in it.
You're immersed in it, yeah.
Yeah.
That source you shared used that phrase, Godding, right? That's happening all around us and through us.
Godding, yeah, that's so evocative.
It really is. And in pantheism, that line between what's sacred and what's just everyday, it kind of dissolves.
Yep. Every single bit of the natural world, from a tiny atom to a huge galaxy, it's all seen as a manifestation of this underlying divinity.
So walking in the woods isn't just nice, you're literally walking through the divine.
In a way, yes. You're experiencing it directly, unfiltered.
And that changes how you think about spiritual practice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's less about, say, going to a specific building or performing ritual.
And more about presence.
Right. Just this, deep awareness, this mindful connection with whatever's happening right now.
Exactly. Merging consciously with reality. Every breath, every sight, every sound, potentially sacred if you're truly awake to it.
Finding the sacred right here, not somewhere else.
That's a key part of it. Waking up to the divinity of this moment. And this idea of interconnectedness, that feeling that everything's linked. It's not just a nice thought, is it? Your sources mentioned connections to science.
They did. And this is where it gets really fascinating, this idea that everything's connected, literally connected. It does kind of echo things you hear about in, say, quantum physics, or even just basic ecology.
Right, the web of life.
Exactly. You take one piece out of an ecosystem and it affects everything else. It shows how tangled up it all is. We're not just floating separately.
No, we're absolutely part of this vast, intricate web. And what's interesting is how this perspective isn't new. It's resonated with some really brilliant thinkers.
Like Spinoza.
Like Baruch Spinoza, yeah. He's often seen as, central to modern pantheism. He saw God as this single, infinite substance underlying everything, mind, matter, the laws governing it all.
Wow. Okay. And Einstein was drawn to that?
He was. Albert Einstein actually expressed a real admiration for Spinoza's God. He talked about having a cosmic religious feeling.
It's kind of mind-blowing, picturing Einstein resonating with that.
Isn't it? And then there's someone like Carl Sagan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe not strictly a pantheist in name, but he had that famous line about us being a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Ah, yes. I love that. That really fits, doesn't it? The universe experiencing itself through us.
It totally captures that feeling, yeah. These thinkers, they all sort of point towards seeing the sacred woven into reality, not separate from it.
Which brings us right back to your experiences in nature. That source described walking in a forest with this pantheistic view. It wasn't just looking at trees, it was communing with divinity.
Right.
Every leaf, every bird, like part of this great scripture of the universe.
Beautifully put.
And honestly, that really hits home for me. That feeling you described, being more spiritually alive out in nature, especially forests and mountains, it does feel like communion, like remembering something.
It's a very common experience.
Why do you think forests and mountains specifically have that effect on people? It seems so common.
Well, there's a lot going on there symbolically and just atmospherically. Forests, you have these ancient trees, this incredible slowness, these hidden networks connecting everything underground. It embodies wisdom, interconnection. Some cultures call trees stand people, seeing them as spiritual beings. And their rhythm. It's slow, steady. It can actually soothe our own nervous systems.
That makes so much sense. You feel yourself kind of downshift when you're in a forest. And mountains.
Mountains, yeah. Their sheer permanence, their scale. They just stand there, connecting earth and sky. They invite silence, awe.
Yeah.
So many cultures see them as sacred, as portals, even as gods themselves. They kind of put our little daily worries into perspective, right? Which naturally helps that meditative feeling you mentioned.
Like nature itself is a sanctuary. It strips away all the noise and makes that feeling of connection easier, almost effortless sometimes.
It can, yes. And that ties into what the source material suggested. Pantheism isn't about searching for God somewhere else.
It's about noticing.
And merging with what's already right here, all around you. It's not this frantic quest. It's more like a quiet recognition. In those moments of stillness in nature, you just are. And the sacredness of it all just reveals itself.
Okay. Now, you also share this other really fascinating idea about choosing to come to Earth and kind of forgetting your own divinity.
Yes.
Like making the game more interesting by not having the cheat codes and hoping your experiences, the good and bad, add something to this. What did you call it? A cosmic divine soup.
Right, the cosmic divine soup. It touches on this idea, sometimes called the divine amnesia theory.
Okay.
The idea being maybe we enter life with a sort of veil. We forget our deep connection to everything.
Why? Why would we do that?
Well, maybe, counterintuitively, that forgetting allows for real growth, for experiences that feel truly meaningful because we're not constantly aware of the ultimate reality. Like, imagine playing a super immersive VR game. It feels real because you forget the outside world for a while, right? Challenges matter, the wins feel earned.
So we're like spiritual adventurers, as the source said, exploring the universe from this limited human viewpoint.
Could be. And in doing so, perhaps we're enriching the whole cosmic tapestry. Your unique experiences, your joys, your struggles, your learning, it all goes into that cosmic soup.
Right, the soup.
Yeah, this huge interconnected existence. It fits with pantheism. God is everything, but also maybe panentheism, the idea that God is in everything, but also more than everything. Like the ocean is more than just all its waves combined.
Got it.
So every life lived with awareness, with presence, it's like a crucial, sacred ingredient. The vast ocean of consciousness tasting itself through each individual drop.
Wow, okay. And this links to that cycle you mentioned, forget, remember, return.
Exactly. We start maybe forgetting, veiled, then we feel this pull, this seeking, we ask questions.
Right.
Then in moments of stillness or love or being in nature, maybe we get glimpses, we start to remember.
And then the return, realizing we were never really separate.
That seems to be the idea, not escaping humanity, but realizing the divinity within it. The connection was always there, so the path isn't about getting somewhere else.
It's about being fully here.
Fully here. Knowing your life matters, precisely because it is the divine experiencing itself.
Now, you also mentioned psychedelics. You felt they really sped up that process, that pulling back of the veil.
Yes, definitely felt that way. Like getting these very direct, undeniable glimpses of the unity, the interconnectedness.
Okay.
It wasn't just an idea anymore. It was a felt reality, a direct knowing. It can be incredibly powerful for shifting your whole perspective.
You also said wisely, I think, that those intense states aren't really sustainable, not somewhere to live permanently.
No, absolutely not. And that's where things like yoga, meditation, prayer, they become so important. They're like anchors.
Anchors for the insights.
Exactly. Those big psychedelic experiences can give you the insight, maybe open the door wide for a moment. But the daily practices, that's the work of integrating it, learning to actually live from that wider awareness. It's like gently tuning your whole system to resonate with that deeper connection more consistently.
The source material had that model, didn't it? Initiation, dissolution, return.
Integration and embodiment.
Yeah, right. It sounds like maybe the psychedelic experience can be that initiation, that jolt.
It can be for some people. A dissolving of old ways of seeing, perhaps. Then you return, and the real journey begins. Integration through practice, leading hopefully to embodiment, where it's just part of how you are.
There was that metaphor, too.
Oh.
Like being handed a spoonful of the divine stew.
Yes, a powerful taste.
And now the work is learning to actually cook with that understanding yourself through the daily practices.
That's a great way to put it, cultivating that flavor in your own life.
And ultimately, you found all these different threads: nature, the searching, the practices, even the intense experiences. They all seem to guide you back towards knowing God by knowing yourself. That old wisdom, Temet Nosce.
Know thyself.
And also Sapere Aude, dare to know. Those feel like powerful guiding principles.
They really are, like active soul incantations, not just dusty old phrases. And nature plays a huge role in that know thyself part, doesn't it? It's like this honest mirror. Well, it reflects back your own essence without any, dogma or judgment. It's just there. A sacred space where you can see yourself and the interconnectedness of it all. Like Pantheism suggests, fundamentally, you are that.
So knowing yourself here isn't just about personality tests or figuring out your habits.
No, it's deeper. It's about connecting with that quiet awareness underneath all the mental chatter, the watcher.
Which those peak experiences might reveal.
They might give you a glimpse, yeah. And practices like yoga or meditation help you access and embody that watcher more steadily. It's like unlayering, peeling back the conditioning to find what's fundamentally there.
Okay, and dare to know. Sapere Aude.
That feels like the engine for the whole thing almost. The rebel's creed, the soul's war cry, as the source put it.
Yeah.
It's the courage to question, to explore, to trust your own direct experience above all else. It's your active pursuit of truth, not just accepting what you're told.
So it becomes this cycle, right? Knowing yourself helps you know God or the divine.
Which deepens your connection to nature.
And connecting deeply with nature reflects back and helps you know yourself even more deeply.
Exactly. It's not a straight line to some finish point. It's more like a deepening spiral, constantly unfolding.
Wow.
So as you keep walking this path, maybe here's a thought to mull over, inspired by everything you've shared. If you really are a fragment of the divine experiencing itself, trying to know itself through your unique life, then who ultimately is the seeker? And who or what is actually being sought?
Oh, that's definitely something to sit with. Thank you. This has been an amazing deep dive. Truly, exploring your experiences through this lens has been incredibly illuminating.